Ever watch a show that first aired 10 years ago and then ended a few years ago and you still want to talk about it? Yeah, it's like that. HBO's The Wire. So The Wire was a show that was on HBO that ran for 5 seasons between 2002 and 2008 and takes place in the great city of Baltimore and concentrates on the war on drugs from the point of view of the cops and the drug dealers. You get both in this show. Right away I was like, that's interesting as hell. That's one of the coolest things ever. Because you always see the cops' point of view and you're like, alright, yeah, good guys, bad guys. So we're just going to concentrate on the good guys, cops going to make the drug bust, and life all makes sense. But now you have the point of view of the drug dealers also. And most of the most interesting parts in this show take place from the point of view of the drug dealers. And what I like about the show is it shows that the whole drug dealing game is bigger than just one person. You know, when one guy drops, another guy's gonna pick up the scepter and he's just gonna be the kingpin of everything also, and he's gonna run with it. So how do you win a fight like that? In any case, on the cop side, it ultimately concentrates on one cop named Jimmy McNulty. Yeah, Kurt Cuddy from Steel Dragon and Rockstar. That's what I always knew him as until now. Now he's Jimmy McNulty. And he gets a team together and they put wiretaps on phones that the drug dealers use. In the first season, they're using pagers, which really blew my mind. I was like, oh yeah, those things that no one remembers anymore. But I'm telling you, this is some in-your-face cops versus street dealers kind of shit here. I don't think I've seen a show this real. This is some of the smartest writing I've ever seen. It's one of those shows, you know, I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of shows. After watching The Wire, the same thing happens after you watch Breaking Bad. Shows that you watch that you used to think were just the smartest shows ever and now like less engaging. They seem less smart. Darn good shows that always raise the bar, like The Wire. And every season in The Wire deals with a thing, you know, a thing that's kind of like, do the ends justify the means moral dilemma? And I'll be damned if 9 out of 10 times I'm not like, yeah, total, I would support that. Is it legal? Nope, but it works. Shows that get you to think outside the box, man. That's the kind of stuff that grips me. One thing that I found interesting in the show is just the intro. The intro song is always the same song, but it's sung differently in every season. I actually found that really cool. I was like, oh yeah, totally different vibe when you're going into the show. That's cool. The only season that's really out of place in comparison to every other season is season 2. After season 1, you're now accustomed to how things work and whatnot, you know, street corners and drug dealers, you know the faces, you know the game. Season 2 takes place on a completely different aspect of everything. I suppose it's relevant because it does tie into stuff, but it's just a totally different vibe. Then season 3, 4, and 5 go back to, you know, what you liked about season 1. And actually, it's one of those things where certain characters leave the show and you're like, the show's not gonna be good anymore. That was like one of the coolest characters, but the show is still great. So they're like, well, props to you writers and people who work these things out that are smarter than me. But I'm telling you, season 4, Snoop and Chris, oof. Snoop's this one gangster thug chick. You can almost never understand what she's saying. Did you know we went in the corner? You motherfuckers know it won't come and shit. But it doesn't matter because she's one of those actions speak louder than words types. Because in season 4, I'm telling you, she's one of the scariest individuals ever put on TV. You just see Snoop in a dark alley, you're like, I'm dead. I'm dead. Man, it was unsettling as hell. Snoop season 4, you get the creepiest person ever put on TV award. Best character in the show though, my favorite, 2 words. Omar coming. Omar Little is one of my favorite characters ever made, period, on screen, ever. Big screen, small screen, wide screen. It doesn't matter. It's Omar. Omar is a straight up wild card in this whole game. When asked what he does in a court of law, he just replied, I rip and run. Omar robs drug dealers. At first it's just business, then it becomes personal, then Omar is just unstoppable. But Omar's a guy with a code. He has a code he lives by. He never turns his gun on someone who's not in the game. Now, that's what I liked about the first 3 seasons of this show. It showed that there's a system to it. If you're a civilian, you're not just gonna get wasted. Later on, not so much. Seasons 4 and 5, I felt like I did back when I was a little white kid in elementary school. Oh, like if I walk down the city street at night, someone gonna kill me. But not Omar. Omar! He coming, yo! He gets to the point Omar's just walking down the street and you just hear people like, Omar coming! Omar coming! One of the coolest characters ever, I'm telling you. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. People who profess that The Wire is one of the best shows ever made, and people who profess that The Wire is absolutely the best show ever made. This is the in-your-face, realistic cops versus drug dealers show that you might have been waiting for. However, I will say, if you don't like cop shows, you might not like The Wire. The Wire is the definitive cop show. It's kind of like, alright, what's the definitive fantasy show on TV? Oh, it's Game of Thrones. Alright, what's the definitive cop show ever put on TV? Oh, it's The Wire. I kind of feel like I never want to watch another cop show on TV because it's not The Wire. The only weird thing about the show is that it's not in high def. It's in 4:3 aspect ratio. That's, you know, the aspect ratio that's like this. It's not widescreen. And it's in standard def. I mean, as the first season goes on, you get completely used to it. And then you kind of appreciate, you know, the grittiness and simplicity of it all. The absurdly unconscionable thing is that The Wire was never really nominated for anything. It was nominated for a few awards that I've never heard of. But in terms of Golden Globes, Emmys, nothing. It was nominated for like 2 Emmys, one for best writing in this episode and one for best writing in that episode, but no one was up for best actor. The show wasn't up for best drama. Freaks me out. Now when I see nominations, I'm like, oh, okay, that's up, but The Wire wasn't. That's bullshit. Usually when I'm done with shows, I'm like, oh, okay, it's done, it's over. It's sad that it's over, but I move on. The Wire, I want to watch it right now again, straight through, at this very moment. So that's something, I'm telling you. It's a great drama. Watch it. However, in the show, there is a character that gets totally what I call Boba Fetted. That person's alive, now the person's dead. Deserved a better going off than that, but it just kind of happened. Which the show lets you accept that as realism. You're like, yeah, the show's established that it's really realistic, and that's how it would happen. It could just happen like that. So it doesn't make you as mad as you think it would, but you still don't like it. So have you seen The Wire? And if not, or even if so, what's your favorite show on TV? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Oma! He coming!